Hello, everybody. Let's take a look at Daily Oral Language sentence number 85. Allow me to put it on your screen. Once you see it, please copy it down exactly the way you see it, as wrong as you see it. I know it's difficult to do sometimes. Then after we go over it, you're going to copy it down correctly and probably feel a lot better about it. So let's see. I'm going to read it out loud. It says 38 customers should have did the following: examined the merchandise, returned it, and wrote a letter of complaint. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. 38 customers should have did the following: examined the merchandise, returned it, and wrote a letter of complaint. Okay, the most important thing that goes into this sentence is we need to start our list. How do we start lists with sentences? Of course, we put a colon. And where should our colon go? Where does our list go? Or where does our list start? After the word following. So let's put our little colon, our dot, after following, which tells us everything after that is a list. All right, so let's do it. Let's start from the beginning. 38. How can I capitalize the 3? I cannot. But of course, we're not going to start our sentence with 38 because it's a number under 101. So let's spell out 38. Of course, we will capitalize 30 because it is the beginning of our sentence. And then we have 8, 38. And then there's one thing. I have to hyphenate 38, correct? Because it's 38. Okay, so we have 38 customers. Take a look at customers. What's wrong with customer? Good. It's ER, not IR. Let's continue. 38 customers should have did. Remember, you cannot have the word of after should. It should have. And of course, if you want to, you could do, and I'll show you right now, you could do apostrophe VE should have, but you cannot say of. Remember, it's only have after should. You decide if you want to have the contraction should have, the contraction should have with should have being contracted together, or separate it out and say should space have. You just cannot say should of. Of can never go after should. Also, let's continue. They should have did the following. No, they should have done the following. So make sure you have that correct. Excellent. Take a look at following. What's wrong with following? Of course, it needs another L in following. Good. Okay, so let's go through it. First thing I want to do is put our commas, and then we'll come back and fix our verb tenses. So 38 customers should have done the following: examined the merchandise, return it, and wrote a letter of complaint. So remember, we want to separate our list items with commas. So our first list item ends after merchandise. So they should have examined the merchandise. They should have returned it. I can put a comma there if I want. But again, remember, because of the word and, you don't have to put a comma there because and connects these two list items. So I'm going to get rid of it. But again, if you have it there, that's quite okay. So and wrote a letter of complaint, and we could put a period at the end of that. Now, remember, our verbs have to agree with each other. So I'm going to ask you, this took place in the past because they should have done it, which means it's already happened. They should have done it. So examined is okay because that's the past tense. We have examined the merchandise. Look at merchandise. It's not Z-E, it's S-E, it's merchandise. And then we have return it. So if we have examined it, is return it past tense as well? No, they should. If they examined, then they also should have returned, right? So examined the merchandise, returned it, and wrote a letter of complaint. They should have wrote. No, they should have written. Let's go into past tense as well. I wrote, but I should have written. All right, so make sure it agrees with the other verbs. Should have written a letter of complaint. And take a look at complaint. I have a complaint about the way that's spelled. It's not C-O-M-P-L-A-Y-N-T. Oh no, it's C-O-M-P-L-A-I-N-T. Fabulous job. Let's take a look down low, make sure we got everything. So we have 38. Remember, we capitalized 30, and we had to spell it because it's under 101. Also, we hyphenate 38. So we have 38 customers. It's ER, not IR. They should have done the following. Remember, you can't say should of. It should have. Of course, you could put should have that way, but you can never have of after should. Now, we had up top should have did the following. No, they should have done the following, so we fixed done. Take a look at following. We added another L. We did start a list. Remember, colons, right here, we have a colon. Colons do two things in the world. They either make lists or they create poop inside your body. This is clearly not the poop creation type of colon. We wanted to start a list, so we put the colon in the sentence. We examined the merchandise, past tense. Notice we fixed the spelling of merchandise. It's not a Z, it's an S. There's our comma to separate our two list items. They also returned it. So if you examined it, then you also returned it. I put a comma there, but remember what I said, you don't have to have that comma because we have the word end. End joins those two list items together, so we don't have to separate them with commas. That's up to you. They returned it and written a letter of complaint, because remember, they should have done it. So they should have written. You can't say they should have wrote. We also fixed complaint from a Y to an I. We put an period at the end of the sentence. Fabulous job, everybody. Make sure you have that down correct and you understand everything. If you do not, please ask me. Fantastic job, everybody.